Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right, welcome back to the Patriot Hour for Monday. All right, it's not Friday. That was my little bit of fake news in there for you. You guys caught it. You get an A+. I'm joking. I made a big mistake. All right, I was ahead of myself. Way ahead of myself. All right, welcome back to the Patriot Hour. If you're new, thanks for stopping in and giving us some of your time. We know it's valuable to you, but please subscribe, like, share, comment after the video. Take a look down below in the description box. We got all the links that we typically go over. Again, folks, we here at the Patriot Hour, we promote read everything. You want to listen to everybody and believe nothing, none of it, until you can verify it in your own research, in your own way, all right? Again, lots of comments, lots of emails coming in all about the hustle and bustle of martial law and anyone trying to tell you not to look at something in your own research when you're doing research and in the intelligence communities, when you're trying to gather everything, you have to look everywhere. How do you catch the terrorist if the NSA collects everybody's phone calls and then they have to put in keywords so when people talk, it gets put over to another system, and then this system over here is overloaded with red flags, and then you have to have manual people listen. So they're listening in, and they're going to hear people just on the phone, two girls talking, and the word bomb came up or something, if that was one of the keywords, all right? Using very simplistic examples here for you. So then they would say, nope, this is no good, delete it, or, put it back into the system and move on. And they're going to listen to 50,000 phone calls that day and maybe get one piece of good information. I mean, now we don't go through that much. We're already pretty good. So if you're done in an area, be done with it. Focus over here. But I would like to ask, where are you getting this other information? Point to, so we do state facts. We had people come back. We had survivors of past martial laws. Again, folks, we don't support martial law. That is something that was put in the USC codes to protect DC. All right. We have a constitution. DC has their own. So yes, there are facts that people have survived, lived through it, breathing, talking, possibly got their weapons back. I don't know, maybe not. But that's not the one that people are talking about. Well, which one are you talking about? The next one? Maybe the one after that? Can you point to the facts or where you get this from? Because it would be nice to see it. I've seen lots of things in my research that's led up to a new world order and all the plans that they had. Again, it's kind of hard to verify it all. It's lots of stories and lots of compilations and a general idea. It could be very true. I wouldn't deny it, but I would say, we only have like 1.5 million active, or with all the reserves, 1.5 million. We got 320 million citizens. So then it gets to, well, it's not going to be possibly our own troops. It would be foreign. I would say, show me an article, or is this your collective opinions that with doing all your research, this is where it's led you? That's fine. I felt the same way, but I don't have any articles to back it up. It's just a idea, no different than the idea of this, folks. We could have, so we like to talk about how martial law is written. It's Article 1. Was it Article 1? I think it was Article 1, Section 9, something like that. But also written in our actual Constitution. This is just something to go over it. We don't need to be there, but you can go there yourselves if you want to look at the actual .gov. If I were to tell you without qualification that the American people have a God-given right to alter or abolish the U.S. government or any state government and to replace them with something new, how would that strike you? Would you reject the idea because it's only me who's saying it? Does the idea seem too radical or too extreme? Would it make a difference if you realized that without this type of radical extremist thinking, there wouldn't be a United States of America at all? Let's put that into context. So here we got this, all right, out of the Declaration of Independence. Q has posted this. It's nothing that we all shouldn't have known. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem likely to affect safety and happiness. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than right by themselves by abolishing the forms of to which are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariable the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Declaration of Independence, 1776. Now, still think it's a really good idea. Now you get into the USC codes that have been set up. These are ones that pertain to DC outward, and they have laws set up to stop any of that. Now those go exactly against our Constitution, and it talks about rules out of our nation's capital, and the Constitution should never, they should go and coincide. Anything that they put in should coincide to not trample upon man. But folks, they have set up these laws to make it impossible for that to ever happen. So in all my research of looking at things that could have been a psyop, because we don't have any proof for a lot of the New World Order stuff, it's a lot of collective articles and people saying things. But I honestly have felt that as well. That's what I believe. That's why I'm even at this point. So to think that we couldn't have somebody trying to fix and stop, and this would be the exact way it would have to happen. So now you can get into, well, that's a real good fairy tale story, and there's no proof of this or that. There's not a lot of proof for anything, unfortunately, at this point. There would be no proof for, and you couldn't link to any factual articles that would talk about martial law coming. But that's what we all generally have thought, and I agree. Now, it could still happen. That's the whole point. These are factual laws that are put into place. USC codes are put into place. So even if it was Trump, or, you know, are they going to call for martial law? Not Trump. Maybe Congress does it around him. Are they allowed? I'm not sure on all the exact situations there, but the way it looks is they would call it because they would want the protection. It's considered an invasion to them, no matter if it was civilians or people within the government trying to fix this situation. This is very feasible. It's in our Constitution. So those of you standing by the Constitution might want to take a look at this article and then dig down real deep and see what you're doing that could help guide that, if it's even possible. Otherwise, you think that only evil can exist and there's no chance for good ever. So we're saying that maybe JFK, he was shot as part of, you know, he self-sacrificed himself for the cause. Everything he did was just a joke. We didn't have an actual person get in there to try to take anything down. He spoke certain words out on the TV airwaves against the system. We got the same thing happening with Trump. But that's just all part of the plan, folks. That's a whole nother fairy tale. Point me to some fact on that. Where other presidents have stood up and talked about the 1,000 points of light. They've talked about ancient hope. A whirlwind riding, and do we not think an angel guides us? They're talking about fallen angels. But then you have Trump come and call them out, talking about taking power away from DC, giving it back to the people, shutting down the Fed. But this is all part of the plan. The whole system's so loud against Trump on purpose. Man, that's a whole nother fairy tale that you really have to go down without any kind of fact. And then any article you can point to would possibly be a psyop. Because it's out there. Because if it was true, it'd be shut down. If it was truth. Folks, think for yourselves. That's all it really matters. I would encourage you to keep listening to everybody, look at everything, believe none of it. We have a chance that this is where it's gotten. It would have to take military, good patriots. I think they exist. I don't think that I think there's good people. I think there's a chance for good to happen. I'm not so dark that I think, nope, it's only evil, and it'll be evil forever. And, I mean, it's a battle for sure. But there are spots and chances, and good could win. Good takes over. Good pushes back. Good conquers. Unless you are in this mindset, a very dark place where everything is just, you see it a different way. And that you can come to that conclusion. I saw this as exactly that statement there. I apply that to Trump, and we can go over the history of lots of people, because, I think everyone makes mistakes in their lives and then they move forward, don't they? You don't know when man has, got his forgiveness and when he's moved forward. We could talk about past, adultery possibly, or business deals that somebody's done in the past. But at what point did they maybe ask for forgiveness and move forward from that day on? When did they get rid of all the TVs and electronics out of their house? When did the plan go into motion? So, we have something in our Constitution. Maybe everyone should start making videos about that, when it becomes too overpowering and it's our God-given right. And then in their Constitution, we have a martial law that is very real and could be inflicted. And I wouldn't doubt they would pull it. It would be imposed on us. We don't welcome it. We don't want it. But it's happened in the past. People have survived. That's not the one we're talking about, I guess. But I would like to see, point me to an article that talks about the next one and when it is, or it hasn't happened yet, so we're just waiting on it. But what leads you to believe to all that? What all your collective research has pointed to that? That's their plan. We've all heard about it. Isn't that maybe just a psyop? Because why would we all know about that if it's been around for 10, 15, 20 years, gearing up, prep, martial laws are coming? That's the story. We all know it. Not a chance to shut it down. Not a chance to do something that's in our Constitution. There's no chance. If it's not Trump and really good military people doing it, then who is it going to be? Is it going to be another 20 years down the road? Or that is just, there's just no chance for it whatsoever. That's just a fairy tale thing. But it's actually written, and it's in our Constitution. We all hold near and dear everything else. I do. Let's promote it.